Hey, this is the first review on the channel. Hello everyone. Here we have Viltrox 33mm F1.4, and I have a few things to say about this. It's the most affordable 33mm lens for the system, and I've been using it for over 2 years with my Fuji X Pro 3. I bought this lens from avmphotos.com for £210 at the time. Nowadays you can also buy a Sigma 30mm, which is also an f1.4, but it doesn't have an aperture ring, so using it with the X Pro 3 isn't very pleasant. This lens is very well built, all metal constructions, even the mount is metal. Aperture ring is very smooth, doesn't click, but it does give some feedback when moving from and to the auto mode, which is quite nice. I actually don't care about clicking aperture rings. This is not something that matters to me, and I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Aperture ring on this lens is quite stiff. That's the only thing I'm not a fan of. In situations where it's quite humid and you're trying to use the camera at the same time, it can be quite annoying. Focus ring on the other hand is very smooth, free spinning, easy to move, although I don't use it very much. On the back you also have a micro USB connector for software updates. Updating software is quite annoying. Actually, I take that back. Updating is quite simple, it's just dragging and dropping files into the camera, but finding the updates, that's the annoying part. You have to navigate Viltrox's Chinese website and find them. On the X Pro 3 it actually looks quite nice. It's not too big, it's just the right size and weight. I did notice, did I mention the aperture ring is quite difficult to move? Overall, with the lens on the camera, everything feels well balanced and easy to use. Moving on, comparing the size to a Fuji 35mm f1.4, Viltrox is much bigger, but the size hasn't bothered me for over 2 years of use. It's also heavier, but again, it's very manageable weight, and it feels nice. It doesn't feel cheap and light or heavy and bulky. It's a nice balance. With the lens hood on, it's the same story. Viltrox is longer, but Viltrox has something up its sleeves. You can actually reverse the lens hood and put it back on the lens, and makes the whole package very compact for carrying around, where Fuji you can't do that. So you either have to put the lens hood on or you keep it separate, which makes it very prone to losing, I guess. Again, clickable aperture rings. One clicks, the other doesn't. Doesn't really matter to me in my opinion. Both are good for the job. Here are some of the sample photos that I took with this lens. In summary, this is what I have to say about Viltrox 1.4 for Fuji. That's less than half of the price of that Fuji 35mm f1.4, and if you're on a budget, I think this prime lens should be on your radar. You can also get this either with the XT3 or a Pony 6400 for almost less than £1,000, which is a great buy, I think. Maybe this year you don't need to upgrade your phone for the cameras, but instead get yourself a camera.